god, I'm sitting on my bedroom floor again. Welcome back, everybody. Hi. Let me get dressed up here so we can have like a real chat. Hey everybody, it's Dare. Welcome back to another video about pageants. I know a lot of you guys out there are expecting another clothing haul. Stay tuned, don't worry, there are more coming up. There's just a lot I really wanted to talk about since the recent events, not only of me turning 25 on the 9th, but also winning a national pageant. There's just a few things that I really wanted to address and talk about since there has been some controversy going around about this specific pageant, and I think it's time to hush and silence those rumors now that I have been a part of this pageant for not only while the controversies were happening, but I also am now the new reigning queen, so I feel that it's not my responsibility, but I think I should say my side of this too, because I was involved in this last year as well. Many people out there don't know what it's like to win a national pageant and what does that mean after you become the queen. A lot of people have this misunderstanding that the pageant will hold your hand through everything and book you all these events and sign you up to be places and do all the publicity for you, and I want to kind of silence that because it is not true. Being a title holder, whether it be state or national, is a 50-50% effort, and actually I would almost say it's more on the winner to plan and organize things, and it's up to the director to oversee those events that you have selected to do for yourself and approve or deny which ones are appropriate to represent the pageant and tell you which events to avoid based on, you know, branding and those sort of things. But mainly I want to say that it's, you know, it's a team effort, but it has to be from both sides. Now there's been a couple issues that came up with this pageant last year, and I actually was involved in it because I was the first runner-up and because I got to witness a lot of the things that were going on. Being that I was first runner-up, I did my due diligence to make sure that the national title holder was holding up to her obligations, because when you're first runner-up, if she doesn't follow through on what she's supposed to, you then get to become the queen. Because obviously I wanted to support her. You know, you should always support your queen, you should always support the pageant you're part of if you believe in their message and you like really enjoy being there. It's always good to have each other's backs. Like, you know, women supporting women is amazing, and we need to push that out there and do that more with each other, because we're only gonna grow if we grow together. You know, we have to work together to make the garden grow, essentially. And I noticed that like she wasn't really posting a lot of like modeling pictures. She wasn't really posting a lot about the pageant or the different pageant events she had went to. And I thought it was kind of strange, but I was like, you know what, like maybe it's slow right now, maybe they don't have anything, so whatever. And I just kind of let it go, and I stopped keeping an eye on the queen just because I noticed like her content wasn't really growing with the pageant. Like she wasn't really putting herself out there that much, in my opinion, but I don't really know what happened behind closed doors. Then as nationals started approaching, I decided that I wanted to compete in this pageant again, so I kind of started keeping an eye out again on her and the fitness division winner. They didn't really go out and get any front covers of their own merit. I didn't really see them. I think the one walked in New York Fashion Week, which I thought that was really amazing and super cool, and I noticed the pageant had reposted that, but that was literally the only thing I had saw. And I kind of like wanted to stay out of it because I knew I was coming back, but I did notice that there wasn't really a lot of press and there wasn't really a lot of like, here's our winners doing amazing things. Like it just seemed very like swept under the rug and like they had never won. But I know from being a title holder in the past through state, and then I also had a national optional title, so I won actress at a pageant, and I learned very quickly that like they don't book you events. Like no matter who you are, you have to go and do it of your own merit, and you have to be your own PR agent essentially and get yourself your own gigs. Now that the pageant was coming up close, I had already paid for it. I noticed that the national title holder for my division was watching my stories on Instagram and was keeping an eye on me as well, which I thought was very interesting. And I saw she made, like 3 weeks before the pageant, she made a Facebook post, which I'm gonna read right now. This person decided to put this out there on Facebook for anyone and everyone to see. yeah, so it says, so you guys know the pageant I did back in July. I prepared, I worked 2 jobs to go and compete in Miami, and when I finally made it and got the crown, just to find out I did not receive a price, and they claimed to provide so many modeling opportunities. Guess what? No, it's just a scam so the director can make money. Once you compete, no, not once, once, as in like the number 1, once you compete, you will never hear from them again. Save your money, girls. In quote, or in quotes, I am not talking about a certain director, I'm talking about the national director. And then she put a picture of the pageant with the cover model on it. Let me sit down. So first of all, I don't think it's ever a good idea to bash a system or a person. You should never burn a bridge. Especially when you never know what opportunities could come up. So I think that was a big issue. Second of all, she should have had somebody spell check it. Like, if you're gonna go out there and make a scene and start dropping bombs, you need to have somebody spell check it. So I mean, I hope that like maybe she'll learn from this. Maybe she'll learn to like double check and like make sure that she does her due diligence next time by at least spell checking and using punctuation, because now you just look uneducated, and that is not very becoming of a title holder whatsoever. Then the next thing that I did notice is that she didn't receive a prize, is what I think she was trying to say, when last year, nowhere in the documentation did it say we were winning money. I knew full well going into that pageant last year that I wasn't gonna win any money. Whereas this year, I read the documentation, I read the contract that I signed that states that there's the 2 divisions that got money this year, which I was very excited about because I knew that last year there was no prize money. So obviously, she didn't read the contract that she signed before she joined in for the pageant. And I don't have proof, or I don't have that like screen grab of the info from last year, but I definitely remember talking to my mom being like, yep, there's no money if you win, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah. So the fact that she's upset about it now, a year later, is kind of like, they claim to have so many modeling opportunities, which they do. Like, if you follow the lady who runs the pageant, her son literally is at something different every single day of the week. Like, his career is thriving because his mom has so many connections. So there you go. Oh, yeah, she obviously didn't do her due diligence by looking up the director at all whatsoever. And then it's a scam, she claims, because they take your money and you get nothing out of it. When you put your money into something like that and they don't tell you you're not getting money back, obviously you're not going to get the money back. But businesses, in order to succeed and thrive, and in order to pay for a hotel, for them to build a stage, for them to get these photographers here, for them to get sponsors for the pageant, for them to even like host this event somewhere, it costs money. So I don't know if you've ever like ran a business before. Like, I run my own modeling business, I run my own Patreon business, I run my own Instagram business, I run literally my own YouTube business. Like, I run like 6 businesses, and so I get how it works, and I get that like time is money. And I don't think she understands that like they're not gonna babysit you. When you're the title holder, it's your job. It's your job to go out and get events. And if you want them to provide things for you, you need to ask. You need to put yourself out there. You need to definitely like go out there and show that you're worth it. You're worth them putting their time into. Winning the pageant isn't the hardest part. It's very difficult. It's really difficult to get a national title. I'm not taking away from that. But being the queen is almost 3 times as hard, because there's 75 other girls that competed for your spot watching you. They want to see what you're going to do with that title. And they're going to sit there, and no matter what you do, and no matter like how great you do, they're all going to sit there and judge you based on what you do with that title. 75 individual people are sitting there going, man, if I would have had the title, I would have done it better. Man, if I would have had the title, I would have done it this way. Because if you're sitting there doing nothing, obviously people are going to be pissed because you didn't even work hard. This girl goes on another rant and basically outright like puts in a what is it, like a live? Like, she sat there and like recorded herself saying that like, this lady's making me out to be a liar. She told all the contestants that I got fired and blah, blah, blah. And she literally provided no receipts, so there's no proof. The national director never told us that you got fired. She never mentioned you once during the pageant. at all. She didn't tell anybody. So whatever photographer is telling you that obviously wasn't there. Let's talk about this. So if you're gonna make a video bashing a pageant, a system, a company, provide receipts. Let's see it. You know, she took a screen grab of like the national director blocking her, but obviously she's gonna block you if she fired you, you know? Like, let's see some real proof. Show us the messages that you sent her stating like, hey, I'm ready to do some gigs. Hey, where are you at? I'd like to see you. Prove it. Pull up her contact in your phone and show us all the messages. If you wanna make a name for yourself and clean your name, as you said, let's see some proof. Let's see some proof, because I bet you there probably isn't any. Honey, when it comes to winning a national title, you know, it's, like I said, winning the pageant is one thing, but being the queen is another. And going out on social media, making yourself look uneducated, unresponsible, and like looking at your Instagram, honey, like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? So basically, when you win a pageant, the best thing to do is to start making local connections, start like looking into charities and really put yourself out there, get in communication with the national director, and both collaborate on getting you more gigs and events. The drama of this whole situation is it's a he said, she said sort of scenario. There's really no way to tell who's lying or what all really went down because there's always gonna be three stories: their side, your side, and the truth. But if you want people to be on your side, you should probably provide some sort of proof. I just don't think sitting down in front of your camera and typing a huge post that grammatically made no sense with no punctuation literally did you no justice. It just made you look really bad. I don't know if you're watching this video or not, you probably aren't, but my advice to you is probably to delete the two posts and just lay low for a little bit and then like come back strong in the modeling industry, girl. I saw that you did some like other pageant while you still had the national title, which wasn't very smart, but maybe try doing a pageant now that you no longer are the national title holder. You know, like I'm here for you if you want help, like you can reach out to me and I'll, you know, like I'm not gonna be bitter, but I think that you should really think about what you're doing before you put yourself out there on social media like that. So to those of you that are watching this video going like, what the heck, this is so crazy, this is so weird and so random for Dare, let me just tell you that I thoroughly believe in this pageant. I thoroughly, like even before I had the crown last year, when I competed now as first runner-up, I really loved the way this pageant was scored. I loved that it was about personality, and it's not just about being beautiful. It's about like cheering each other up and cheering each other on, women empowerment, women being on top and helping run businesses. Like that's what I believe in. So that's why I wanted to make this video and put out there into the universe that positive vibes. Positive vibes. I mean, nothing ill. I'm not trying to like put this girl down. I just think her actions were not very smart, and I think that her best plan of action is just to lay low for a little bit. Thank you all so much for tuning in for this drama alert. I hope I spilled some tea on you all. I hope you enjoyed it. And you know, if this was really boring, I'm sorry, but I just think it needed to be put out there into the world. I hope you all have a magical day, and I hope magical things happen to you. Bye, everybody. Mwah.